attack the messenger because I dared speak up and say, hey, stop standing in front of the media every night and saying everybody else on my team needs to do a better job. Just stand up and say, I'm going to do an even better job, and then do your business behind the scenes. Say what you want. No great leader ever stood in front of the media and destroyed his troops and then went to battle and won a war. And if he did, please point them out to me, because I'm positive that you don't have very many examples. But we're going in the wrong direction. Exactly, Bruce. That's my point. Bruce in the chat room just said LeBron said he stinks. He said that yesterday, and that's where I'm going. He did change the way he talked. He put the focus back on himself, and I'm cool with that. You do that, and everybody else will fall in line. The old adage is true. What happens at the top trickles down to everybody else. When the top guy, whether it's on a team, an organization, a military group, no matter what it is, if the top guy shows up early and leaves late, like the old expression, first one in, last one out. If they're putting in the time in the weight room, and this is where the way LeBron interacts with David Blatt is going to be important. Even if he inside has issues with David Blatt, he has to be extra careful not to undercut his coach in the media and in front of the locker room, because if you do it, they do it. And I know you'll say, well, LeBron can do things differently, but that's not the way you do it. If you do it, they can do it. So don't do anything that you don't want them to do. Lead by example. And I know he can do it. I'm positive of that. I'm not all anti-LeBron James. I want him to do that. I was just quite irked with that. And really, and on top of that, you have a bad week on top of that while you're blaming everybody else, and then you're not playing defense. You're not doing your thing. That's what kills you. So now, boom. I mean, because like I said, I was telling somebody yesterday, if you want to get on a high horse, that's cool. Get on a high horse, but you better have your ground covered first, you know. And but anyways, it looks like he's definitely figured out, hey, maybe I changed my approach a little bit here, and I'm not all fired up about beating the Magic, because as we said, you got to beat the Magic by 30 points, especially when they're coming in shorthanded. But it was good to see, and what I liked the best was that they did it with defense. That's where this team's going. We talked about it, you guys. They did it playing defense. They had their best defensive game of the season here. They held the season low for 74 points for the opponent, but it was the shooting percentage. I believe it was just around 39% was where they held the Magic to. And that's fantastic. May have even been a hair shorter than that. I can't find the paper in front of me with the stat here, but that's exactly what you want to do against that team. And now, hey, you know what? You get a chance to test yourself here against Washington, a team that you just dealt with, and obviously the results didn't go your way. Now you get to counter that. You went to their place. Now you're coming back home as this homestand continues, and you'll match back up with the Wizards there, and that's a good thing. But you know, again, it's the growth and the process. I could care less what the Cavs record is at this point in time, but if the signs that we saw yesterday, if the signs that we've seen in the last 24 to 48 hours of the way the approach may have changed by LeBron, I'm telling you, and plus knowing what I know about the psyche of the players that the Cavs have, they have certain types of personalities, and I think that. What is it? You get more. You get more with honey than you do with vinegar, and that thing too. And I'm not saying you got to go around and kiss everybody's butt either. There's times that you put your foot up people's rear end. That's what you do as a leader. But you do it from the same level as them, not looking down and going, "Hey, everybody down there." So it's all good. Cavaliers, for one night, got back on track, did what they had to do. They absolutely rolled Orlando 106-74 last night. And again, a little improvement, a little bit at a time. I'm all with all of that. The improvement on the defensive end is where you got to keep your eyes out. Go out here and do this against a team that's going to score a whole lot more and a lot more effectively than Orlando will here with Washington. But that's where this thing's going to go. They get it going defensively, and you don't got to worry about it because there's enough people and enough ball movement. And that's the other thing too, by the way. LeBron with the double-digit assists here again. Those are the games that I like to see LeBron play. I know some people try to say, "Oh, well, you got to dominate, and LeBron's got to be LeBron." And there are times for that, and I understand that. But man, he is so good at passing the ball. I've said this from the time he played here all the way to the beginning of his career. He's so good at passing the ball. I've always wanted him to be more, because he is more Magic Johnson and less, people try to frame him into being a Michael Jordan type, a Kobe Bryant type. Those are totally different types of players, different types of personalities. I have always said, man, LeBron is Magic. He can play all the positions on the court. Remember, that was the way Magic, and he was revolutionary when he came in, because there wasn't a lot of cats coming in that were able to do that. And the way he distributes the ball, I thought, man, if you've got almost a dual type of point guard, where when you want LeBron to drive, then Kyrie can distribute. And when you want Kyrie to take advantage of his mismatches, then LeBron distributes in this way. But they have to figure out that balance, absolutely. But that's going to be part of what is really going to make this thing work. But I just like LeBron when he's in distribution mode, as well as doing what he's got to do, as we saw him out there doing last night. He had a season high, he tied it, that is, with assists for 11, and he didn't even play all down the stretch of the game. So that, to me, too, unlocks what the Cavs can do as well. Of course, guys got to knock down the shots that they're making, but that's the kind of LeBron that I like to see, man, when he's out there having an impact everywhere, but especially the way he distributes that ball around. So we'll talk some more, of course, about the Cavaliers as they get ready. We'll talk tomorrow, get you set for that one, and a couple of big basketball games tomorrow, Louisville. And, man, I got to tell you, I'll just throw a quick one. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but I was looking at some game notes, Louisville and Cleveland State. And both teams' last opponent was Savannah State. We were talking about it yesterday. The Vikings, 87-83, they lost to Savannah State. And then I saw the score of the Kentucky beat Savannah State a day before, and it was 87-29. I did a double take on the score. I said, wait a minute. Is that 29? So, the Vikings have definitely got their work cut out for them here coming up tomorrow. As they continue the Global Sports Showcase against 7th-ranked Louisville, 87-26. They defeated Savannah State yesterday. Actually, was that game? So, man, little bit of a difference in the two scores. All right, we'll talk some more about that tomorrow. Get you ready for that game. Talk Cavs as well. When we come back, we're going to talk a little baseball with Jeff Gorman, my man from Indians101.com, going to join us, and we'll talk. I mentioned some free agent stuff going on in the Central Division. Getting even, it's not a 3. I think it's a 4-horse race now, man, because Chicago added a couple of good pieces over there. We'll talk about that. We'll talk Indians and so much more. And by the way, as we get ready to go to the break here, happy birthday to 2 of Cleveland's favorite sons. Of course, one of which is Nick Swisher. I'm being sarcastic about that side of it. Bro, Ohio, life is good every day, not just on your birthday. But the second one is clearly you guys know, I have a bias when it comes to this man, and he is just my absolute favorite football player of all time because he's the quarterback of my team when I grew up. Bernie Kosar. Yeah, man, number 19. Happy birthday. There you go. 19. That's right, number 19, baby. Happy birthday to Bernie Kosar. I joke about that all the time, but I'm like, man, I don't think I could ever completely be impartial. I try to take that hat off when it comes to Bernie, but I give people the record and all of that stuff. But yeah, you know how it is. Whoever it was that was your guy when you were coming up, and that's what it is. It's not just that I liked him. I was the kid, so you can't talk. Whoever your guy was when you were a kid, yeah, it takes a while for that to go away, man. Bernie Kosar was the man. So, anyways, happy birthday to Bernie Kosar. What a terrible joke in the chat room. Is he gonna bro out his candles? Boo! Keep your day job. We're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, let's get this bad boy rolling. Jeff Gorman from Indians101.com joins us. We'll talk some baseball. Dr. Football, Bill Checkus. We're talking Johnny Football, Browns, Falcons, the Crow, Josh Gordon, and more. So much coming your way. Don't go anywhere. The Sports Fix just got rolling.
He's got style, class, and it's 23. The MVP of the AFC. Bernie, oh yeah, how you can throw. Yeah. Bernie.
The Sports Fix, the show that asks the question,
what you talking about, Luke? What you talking about, Luke? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about?
We'll be right back.
Sports Fix listeners, you've heard me talking about it. Millionaires being made all season long at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. I've been playing there too. It's now J-Rock's favorite one-week fantasy football site. What's one-week fantasy football? That means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Have a player who's hurt? That's no problem at all because you change everything week to week. Injuries don't derail your chance at victory. It's a new season every week. You're never stuck with the same players. You can pick your team in just minutes and be on your way to winning huge cash. This season, one listener turned $10 into $5,000. Another turned $2 into $10,000. And a new millionaire has been crowned nearly every week this season at DraftKings.com. You could be next. Imagine winning $1 million in one day. $1 million just for playing fantasy football at DraftKings.com. Head to DraftKings.com now and use promo code Spreaker to play for free in the $10 million Fantasy Football World Championships. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Spreaker now at DraftKings.com.
Sports Fix listeners, like us on Facebook today. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Football season is party season at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. Everyone wins at Harry Buffalo. Every Saturday is Coors Light College Football Saturday with $6 pitchers, 4 bottles for $10, and the Buckeyes in full HD. Football season is most definitely party season, and your headquarters is Harry Buffalo North Olmsted all winter long. Harry Buffalo, join the herd. Have you gotten your copy of Cleveland's Finest yet? Highlighting the best moments, players, and media members in Cleveland sports history?
He won it! Milo hit a three-pointer on the side!
In-depth personal interviews with some of the top names in Cleveland sports fill the pages of this incredible book. Cleveland's Finest by Vince McKee is this year's must-have book for every Cleveland sports fan. Available now at Amazon.com. Get your copy today. Fantasy sports lovers, you put so much time, hard work, and effort into playing week to week that it quickly stops being a fantasy and starts getting real. And when the smoke clears, you want to show off those victories with a real prize. I mean, a really real prize. Nobody does that like Fantasy Jocks. The crew over at Fantasy Jocks have beautiful, high-quality, and heavy-duty championship belts, rings, trophies, and so much more for all your fantasy sports needs. There's literally only one place to go. FantasyJocks.com.
Hello, Cleveland. This is WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley, and you are listening to the Sports Fix. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, where we're going over the mountain and rolling with this edition of the show here. Welcome back, J-Rock, with you as we move on. My man, Jeff Gorman, getting ready to join us. He's on the hotline now from Indians101.com. Guys, you can't call, but you can keep the conversation going. I dare you. Send me messages. Don't call me. I dare you to. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with me at The Sports Fix CLE. And you know what happens is here when Jeff's on the line, it always happens when I've got an open first segment or whatever, you know, phone won't ring. Second segment, I'll have somebody on the line, phone will ring 27,000 times. Anyways, you guys can always leave a message, 216-539-7535, but use Facebook and Twitter, Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE or jump over on Mixler, Mixler.com, or use the Mixler mobile app as well on my nifty new Humongo phone here. I've got apps for all the places. So now when you guys tell me about problems, because so many times people say this isn't working or whatever, that's not this problem. I don't know, because I don't do any of that. I don't do the operational end of it. I'm on this end of it. So now I've been able to see. I'm like, oh, so that's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. It's pretty cool. Like, I see how simple